Of all the islands you can travel to in the Philippines, I truly believe in the deepest part of my core, Siquijor is the easiest and most accessible. I say this based on the size of the island, the infrastructure on the island, the kindness of the locals, and much more. On top of that, this is one of the most beautiful islands you can visit. I would personally recommend anyone going to the Philippines to make a stop off in Siquijor. So you're sold, you want to go to Siquijor, but how long should you stay? What should you see? How does one even get there? Well, you came to the right place. Get a pen and paper or open up an app to take notes, because this is the most detailed guide you'll find on all of YouTube for how to travel the island of Siquijor. If you want more overly detailed guides for other islands in the Philippines and to find out about hidden spots no one else is talking about, hit that subscribe button now and be sure to smash that bell while you're at it. First things first, how do you even get to Siquijor? There are actually a couple of ways you can get to the island, but the only one I would recommend is to take a ferry from the city of Dumaguete on the southern tip of the island of Negros. You can also, however, take a ferry to Siquijor from Bohol, and I know a lot of travelers want to do this. They look on Google Maps and they're like, well, Bohol's right there and Siquijor's right there. Shoot, boy, I could probably swim to it. It's actually a lot further than it looks, and because of that, the ticket price and the amount of time it'll take to go from one to the other, I personally think isn't really worth it. Also, if you're gonna be in South Cebu at some point anyway, maybe from Wall, Oslab, waterfall chasing, or who knows what, it's super easy to just jump on a bus headed all the way to the southern tip of the island to the port, cross over to Negros, and then take a tricycle to the main port in Dumaguete, and take a ferry from there to Siquijor. It sounds more complicated than it is. It's actually a really simple path. Wow, you made it! Welcome to Siquijor, island of black magic and witch doctors. But don't be too worried, though if you hear any wakwak in the night, well, it's already too late for you. If you took my advice, you landed in the town of Siquijor on the island of Siquijor. If you just ignored me and came from Bohol anyway, then you landed in the town of Lorena. To be honest, it really doesn't matter where you land because Siquijor is a really small island. You can drive from one side all the way to the other in only about an hour. The best advice I can possibly give you when you come to Siquijor is you need to rent a motorbike. If you only listen to one thing I tell you in this whole video, let it be this. If you don't rent a motorbike, you'll be spending so much more money than you need to take tricycles back and forth to places. And you're giving up a lot of freedom to be able to go off path and explore the island yourself. On top of that, Siquijor is possibly the best island when it comes to renting motorbikes. When we were there last, it seemed like the whole island had regulated motorbike rental like I'd never seen on another island. At the port in the town of Siquijor, just pretty much ask anyone that works there and they'll point you to where you can rent. It should only cost you 350 pesos per day, which is a super good price. If you're saying, but Cody, I've never driven before, I'm afraid. As long as you have a license from your own country, which is honored for 90 days in the Philippines, you can legally drive and you should try it out. I personally feel Siquijor is the best island to learn how to drive on because of its amazing road conditions and lack of traffic. Okay, we'll rent a motorbike, dude, move on. The most popular area of the island to stay is San Juan. There are lots of hotels, hostels, restaurants, and beautiful beaches that face the sunset. That being said, however, anywhere on the island is recommended. Like I said, the island is small, and every side of it has something great to offer, as you'll see soon enough. When it comes to how long to stay, I see a lot of people online telling others to only stay for 2 days. I personally feel that is not enough. I would honestly think you need 4 or 5 days to see it all without feeling like you have to rush from one spot to the next. That being said, I know a lot of people take 2-week-long trips to the Philippines and try to see it all in that amount of time. That's a topic I want to talk about more on another day, but if you're doing that and can only stay for 2 days, just know you're gonna have to make sacrifices. Okay, we're gonna start at the Siquijor Pier and make our way around the island counterclockwise, and I'm gonna tell you a bit about every tourist spot I know of on the island so you can decide what you want to see. Please keep in mind I will miss some things. I've seen a lot, but I'm sure there's even more if you look hard enough. So let me know where I missed in the comments below so other travelers can check them out. Starting in San Juan, Paliton Beach, Paliton Marine Sanctuary, or Little Boracay. I don't know why this beautiful white sand beach has so many names, but I do know it's free to visit and it's probably the most beautiful place on the island for sunset. Further south is Monkey Business. This is a restaurant that also has rooms to stay in if you're interested. This could be the coolest place to eat on the island. The food costs a lot compared to normal Philippine prices, but you don't need to worry about it because it's super delicious and the atmosphere here can't be beat. I've heard great things about Balete Marine Sanctuary, but I haven't actually been there. So look into it for yourself. Somewhere I have been is Tubod Marine Sanctuary. If you love snorkeling, do yourself a favor and visit this place. Easily the best snorkeling we've done on the whole island. Not to mention the beautiful white sand beach you can lay around on. Extra tip, this is the same beach Coco Grove Beach Resort is located on. We couldn't stay there, but if you're willing to pay a bit more, this is said to be one of the best resorts on the island. A little inland from here, still in San Juan, is Lugnason Falls and the Zodiac Falls. There are 13 waterfalls in this one spot. When we were there, it was all free. Absolutely worth checking out if you're into waterfalls. Also, in the footage you're seeing, it was super dry season and the falls were a bit dry, but it isn't always like this. Here's what Lugnason Falls normally looks like. Leaving San Juan, we come to our first stop in Lazi, the century-old Balete Tree. This is a massive 400-year-old Balete tree with a small spring in front of it where fish eat the dead skin from your feet. Yep. It's beautiful and super easy to get to. You can make this a really fast stop if you want to. This is also a great place to buy souvenirs. They have pretty much everything you would want here, from voodoo dolls to love potions. Just a bit further down the road is Hapitanan Cafe. This is easily the most self-aware place in all of Siquijor. I can't speak for the food because it's not really the main attraction. Like I said before, Siquijor is known for magic and witches. Here they build a platform for you to walk up on, jump with a broom, and have someone take a picture of you from below to look like you're flying. If you come here, don't forget to bring your Harry Potter cosplay because it's actually pretty convincing when you see the pictures. In Lazi proper, you can visit the Lazi Church, which sadly was closed when I was there. Total bummer. And check out 24 Restaurant. We ended up here because they do laundry as well for some reason, but we're shocked to find one of our favorite places to eat on Siquijor. It isn't as unique as Monkey Business, but the food is great and it's much more reasonably priced. Go a bit further inland and you'll see why Lazi is the waterfall capital of Siquijor. There are so many to see and you could easily spend a whole day just visiting all of them. One thing you will notice about these waterfalls is that none of them are very tall, but they're all still beautiful blue and very fun. All of these have rope swings and places to jump into the pools below. It's definitely a theme here in Siquijor. Starting at Kawasan Falls and Cave. No, not that Kawasan. We're still on Siquijor. This is the smallest of the waterfalls we visited. There's a nice rope swing, though they'll make you pay extra to use it. The only waterfall here that does that. But this place is pretty unknown, and you can easily have it to yourself to relax and take pictures. Next, I would go to Lagaan Falls. This place is just awesome. Still pretty unknown, but so much fun. You can slide, jump, swim, or swing into the water. There's also a small cave behind the falls you can climb up in. I really cannot recommend this one enough. The guides here really make it stand out. From here, I would ask the guides to point you in the direction of Cabugsayan Falls, because where Google Maps has it pinned is not right at all. It's pretty easy to find if you just drive a bit past Lagaan. Another small but beautiful waterfall with a rope swing and a high platform to jump into the water from. If you're already visiting Lagaan Falls, I see no reason for you to not go just a little further and visit this one as well. The last of the waterfalls in this area that we know about is the biggest and most famous of them all, Cambugahay Falls. This place is undeniably gorgeous with 3 levels to swim, multiple rope swings, and spots to jump. That being said, this place conflicts me. It's beautiful and fun, but it's also ridiculously overcrowded. Cambugahay gets so packed full of people, it honestly rivaled Kawasan in Cebu for overcrowding. Still, you should at least check it out as it is one of the most beautiful spots in Siquijor. Before we continue further around the island, I want to cover what you can do in the dead middle of the island. There are a few things there, and it's easiest to get there from either Lazi or Lorena. If you aren't claustrophobic, Cantaban Cave should not be missed. One of the longest and most beautiful caves you can explore in the Philippines. Be ready to get very wet if you come here. Nearby is Mount Bandilaan, which you can hike to the top of, though we unfortunately missed this. There's also the Butterfly Sanctuary, which I think is really cool, but not worth going out of your way for if you're not in the area. and Cambugahay Falls. We sadly missed this one, but it looks like the tallest waterfall on the island, so it may be worth looking into. The last spot in Lazi I want to bring to your attention is Lagaan Cave and Underground River. This is another spot we sadly didn't make it to, but I know it's very unknown by tourists. From what I can gather online, it really is a river running through a cave that you full on swim through at some points. If you're more adventurous, this may be worth looking into. The next area, known as Maria, is actually where we stayed during our trip, in the Buko Beach Resort. The rooms are really big and the area is gorgeous. I think it's really worth it for the price. My only warning is that we had a few small problems with the staff and there are absolutely no hot showers, if that's something you require. The best spot to visit in this area is without a doubt Salagdoong Beach. If you've done any other research on Siquijor, I'm sure you've seen it. It's an absolutely breathtaking beach made famous by its cliff jumping. You really should come here. No trip to Siquijor is complete without a stop off here. The only other thing I can recommend you check out is Guiwanan Spring Park near Lorena. Just get close to where Google Maps says it is, then start asking locals because it isn't exactly right. This is a beautiful mangrove protection area with long wood and bamboo bridges that extend out over the ocean. It's not very big, but it's very beautiful. There's so much else you can see as well, so be sure to check the comments to see what other areas people from our community suggest. But this is absolutely enough to give you a trip you'll never forget. Next up, I would recommend you click on one of the two links on your screen to either jump to our Siquijor playlist to see everything we just talked about in more detail, or jump over to our playlist for travel guides to see more detailed guides for other islands in the Philippines. I'll see you over there.